Hello, my creative family. How are you all doing today? Welcome back to the Craft Yak channel. If you are new to our channel, we are so happy to have you. Today, I am excited to tell you about two different techniques for adding beautiful beads to your crochet projects one at a time instead of pre-stringing the beads. Pre-stringing is a good technique that's where you string all your beads that you want onto your strand, and then you start working, and you add a bead as you work from the strand. That's good except when you make a mistake, or like let's say you're doing a pattern and you have different color beads, right? If you put a bead in the wrong place, now you have to take out everything or cut your yarn and restring everything again. With this method, you can add a bead one at a time, any bead you want, anywhere you want, okay? Yeah, so let's get started. All right, so the first technique involves just using your crochet hook, right? We already have that. And what you need to know is that the bead needs to be able to fit over the hook without a problem, okay? In this case, I'm going to use worsted weight yarn, and I'm going to use these pony beads. The crochet hook that I'm using is a size E, 3.5 millimeter. And I am going to do a single crochet to show you how to do this. So the first thing you do is you place your bead on the hook, okay? And then you insert your hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop through the stitch, through the bead, and then just finish that single crochet, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and that's it. See how easy that was? Let's do it again. I'm going to make a single crochet, and then I'm going to do that again. Take your bead, put it on the hook, put your hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull that loop through the bead as well, yarn over, finish that by pulling through 2 loops, and that is a single crochet. Now you might be saying, well, what about a double crochet? Can you do that? Of course you can. It's very easy. So yarn over first, because the bead goes on the hook before you enter it into that new stitch. Okay, so yarn over, put your bead on your hook, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop through the stitch, pull that loop through that bead, and then finish the double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. It's that simple. And you would do the same thing if you were doing the same technique, adding extra loops as needed. Like let's say you're doing a treble, you would loop twice in the beginning and half double, whatever the stitches, you could add a bead in this manner. Okay, now suppose the bead is too small for the hook. What do? Like if I wanted to add this rondelle bead here, it's not going through that hook, right? That's not a problem. All I have to do is use a smaller hook to get that bead on. So I'm going to, with the smaller hook, put the bead on the hook, put the bead hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up that stitch, pull up that loop, pull it through the stitch, pull it through the bead. I'm going to be careful not to shred my yarn. There we go. And then pick up my hook that I am working with. There we go. Pull everything together, yarn over, and finish that single crochet. And it's that simple. I'll do that one more time just so you can see it again. Take that smaller hook, put the bead on the hook, right there. Got it. Pull up a loop, okay, put the bead, pull the bead onto the loop, like that, and I switch to my main hook, and then I can finish my stitch. Did you see that? See how easy that is? So that's method number 1, and then now we're going to talk about method number 2. Method number 2 involves using a needle and thread for this technique. You can also use dental floss, but I'm going to use needle and thread. It's essentially the same technique, okay? So I have my needle and thread. I'm using a quilting thread, which is a little bit heavier than just a plain cotton thread, okay? And in this case, you're going to pull up the loop first. With the hook technique, you put the bead on first. This, you're going to pull up the loop first, okay? So I'm going to pull up that loop just like that in the next stitch. Then I'm going to actually remove my hook for a second. I'm going to thread my bead on, put it through the loop that I just pulled up, holding everything here, and then I'm going to put it back through the bead. Now I'm going to grab the needle and the tail and use that to pull the bead onto the loop. You see that? And I take it away. Take the needle and thread away, grab my hook again, and now I finish that stitch. All right, I'll do that one more time. Pull up the loop first with this technique. I take my hook away because it's just too cumbersome to try to keep the hook in there and do the needle and thread bead thing. So put the needle through the loop, excuse me, and then come around, put it back through the bead again, right? Hold on to the tail and the needle, get that in the camera shot, and then pull it through. There you go, take it away. Now you can take your regular hook and go ahead and finish off the stitch. As you can see, this technique, it's a good technique. It's not my favorite, but it is a good technique, especially when you have smaller beads. Again, make sure that your bead accommodates your yarn so that it's not too tight and doesn't put too much stress on the yarn. A bead this small with a, let me give you better. A bead with a hole this small would not be a good idea for worsted weight yarn. It's just too small, okay? It would be great for a cotton weight yarn such as this. See, that would be fine. But for the worsted weight, I use beads with bigger holes in them. And that's it. That's it to the technique. Let me know which one you like. Try both if you can, and add some beads to your work. Just go crazy with it. And then just let me know what you think. Let me know if you have questions, comments, suggestions, and I will see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe. I hope this was helpful for you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.